I am John Gill, starting a new channel on reviewing Star Trek and talking about Star Trek. Some of the official canon stuff, maybe some of the new, slightly less canon stuff, but also a lot of the extended universe material that isn't reviewed and talked about as much, such as books, games, and comic books, and the even further extended universe of fan fiction, and finally the super duper extended universe of headcanon and Trek theory. As you can hear from the accent, I am from the planet the original Starfleet historian John Gill lived his final years. I was born a few decades after his historical experiment ended with his death. And all of us here, we are sure glad that Captain Kirk intervened to clean up that mess. Icos is sure a much nicer planet nowadays. I'll begin my journey into the near-endless universe of Star Trek with Star Trek Borg, a fan film created from scenes from the computer game with the same name. There's a specific term for that kind of fan film, but I don't want to pull a Gabriel Körner and have to apologize for the big word mispronunciations. That would be a debacle. Peter, this is the worst time you could have called. Go away! Anyway, it's Machine something. And this is that kind of fan film. I'm pretty sure the reason it has been made is because the game itself, it's one of those interactive movie types of games, and I don't think I'm the only person on the planet who's never liked those. I like games with something to do. The interactive movie types of games, you just click here and there, and most of what happens does so without much of your involvement. You're mostly just watching, just affecting how the story plays out with some clicking here and there, and that's just seriously boring as hell. So I'm glad someone decided to have mercy on us and save us from wasting our time with the boring clicking and just turn the thing into a regular movie you can just sit back and watch. They didn't include the scene where you can get Q in the malls, so for the absolute highlight of John DeLancey's acting career, you will have to play the game, but otherwise you're far better off just enjoying it as a regular movie. Anyway, what makes it work is that, like any other interactive movie type Star Trek games, it's almost all live action scenes, no graphics with voice acting, but actual footage. Seeing the actors across him and all, in actual Star Trek sets. I've mentioned John DeLancey as Q. He's basically the one running the show here, and you may also recognize John Coltrane Jr. Played a couple of Klingons, and is most recently a prominent Xindi character named Gradic in the Enterprise Season 3 episode The Shipment. The guy who ends up helping Captain Archer after a verbal confrontation and sabotages the Chemo site. Other actors are regular Star Trek background actors. I didn't recognize their names, but they've been doing some stuff being extras on various Star Trek shows standing in the background. And in this game-turned-movie, all of them actually display some very good acting chops, making me wonder why they never got much in the way of speaking roles on Star Trek before. They're filming on Voyager sets? Jesus, I need to work on my pronunciation. I'm German. Excuse me. I'm German. I need to work on my English pronunciation. Slightly changed for the corridors and much of engineering. The bridge is an Excelsior bridge from the Voyager episode Flashback, where Tuvok was back in Star Trek 6 with Captain Zulu. All changed up to make it look like a new ship, but you can recognize the sets. Yes, this is scripted, but I have to work on it a bit because it's not my native language. I'm working on it. Bear with me. But yeah, it's mostly John DeLancey as Q being John DeLancey as Q. That's the draw here. That's the need to watch this one. But before I start talking about how cool John DeLancey as Q is at being John DeLancey as Q, I gotta mention the one big criticism I have with this film. I don't know if there are any other versions of this thing, and I've only seen one. Damn. Oh boy. But from this one I've watched, my big complaint is that Star Trek Borg, besides being a video game, has also been released as an audiobook, featuring pretty much all the dialogue of the game, but with the addition of the main character, as new in the game, also getting a voice. You see, in the game, you, the main character, never talk. You watch all the others talking. This movie is entirely from the game, nothing from the audiobook. So you never actually get to hear the main character talk. All the others talk. And in the audiobook the main character talks as well, but nothing from the audiobook was used here. I presume the stuff was made before the audiobook came out. The main character doesn't talk. Just watch and listen to others talking from your perspective and never say a word. Others just react to you and you never say a word. I'm kind of talking in circles here, but you get the point. It's pretty annoying and it really ruins the experience a bit. Considering there's been an audiobook where the main character actually talks that came out shortly after the game, I really wish it had been included in the machine something fanfilm version of this thing to make it completely like a real story and not just you watching a video game being played, albeit an interactive movie type of game. Really should have been done, but it is how it is. All in all, it's one for you John Delancey SQ fans, and it's definitely worth watching. He's at his best like he always is. It's not much for the general timeline or canon or lore or whatever you want to call it of the shows you're into, just a little side quest of sorts to show more about one particular character. It doesn't really add anything much apart from that, but it is great at what it does. Pretty much the same as its sister game in quotes, Star Trek Klingon, which was also turned into a movie like that. And it's the same story. It's just for fans of Robert O'Reilly as Gowron who want to see a bit more of Gowron doing the eyes and talking like Gowron. Worf! That kind of stuff. A little extra on a beloved recurring character. Nothing more, nothing less. Definitely better as a movie version than playing those boring games that are just interactive movie type games that are boring anyway, like I said. Definitely great to watch to get a little extra, like a dessert of sorts for a fan favorite character. It's on YouTube at the moment as I'm recording this, so if you can't get enough. Yes, I'm not a native speaker. I'm reading the stuff I scripted. Bear with me, this is my first video for I'm not going to swear, it will make YouTube turn this into a adult only something. Bear with me. So if you can't get enough of your track, check it out. It's worth your time for sure. It's a great movie. It's fun. Watch it.